Welcome to our channel. Today, we venture into the complex and often humorous world of human interaction, focusing on a peculiar phenomenon, the individual who seems unable to cease vocalization. Join me as we explore the subtle and not so subtle signs that one might be, shall we say, overindulging in the art of speech. From the blatant interruption to the more nuanced art of conversational dominance, we'll uncover the telltale behaviors that reveal when someone might be talking just a bit too much. Today, we're diving into a topic that many of us encounter daily: people who just can't stop talking. Let's get straight to the point with the 7 signs someone is talking too much. Imagine a conversation flowing smoothly, a gentle stream of thoughts and ideas being exchanged. Suddenly, like a boulder crashing into the current, an interruption occurs. The speaker, mid-sentence, finds their words truncated, their train of thought derailed by another eager to insert their own voice. This, my friends, is our first sign. The individual who consistently interrupts, who seems incapable of allowing others to complete their thoughts, is often guilty of excessive talking. They may do so with gusto, their voice booming over the fading words of the previous speaker. The interrupter, in their haste to be heard, often fails to truly listen, creating a one-sided dialogue that leaves others feeling unheard and undervalued. Now, let us venture into the realm of conversational dominance, where one individual holds court, their voice the dominant, often sole sound in the room. Observe the individual who, in a group setting, manages to steer every topic back to themselves. Their experiences, their opinions, their anecdotes become the central focus, leaving little room for others to contribute. The conversation becomes less of a dialogue and more of a monologue, a one-person show with a captive, if somewhat weary, audience. The chronic conversational dominator does so habitually, regardless of context, leaving others feeling like mere spectators in their one-man show. We've all encountered them, the tellers of tales, the weavers of anecdotes, who, with unwavering enthusiasm, share the same stories, the same jokes, the same points, time and time again. It's as if they're stuck in a conversational loop, their repertoire of stories a worn-out vinyl record, the needle skipping on a familiar refrain. This, my friends, is the echo of repetition, another telltale sign of excessive talking. It often begins subtly, a repeated phrase here, a recycled anecdote there. But like a dripping tap, it slowly erodes the patience of the listener, transforming amusement into weary resignation. The listener, having already traversed this particular narrative terrain, finds themselves mentally checking out, their attention wandering as the familiar story unfolds yet again. The human world, much like the animal kingdom, is awash in a symphony of social signals, subtle cues that guide our interactions. A raised eyebrow, a slight shift in posture, a stifled yawn. These are the whispers of communication, conveying disinterest, boredom, or a desire to speak. And then there are those who seem utterly oblivious to this intricate language of nonverbal cues. They are the ones who, amidst a chorus of yawns, continue their monologue, their words washing over their audience like waves against an unyielding shore. This lack of awareness can stem from a variety of factors: ego, self-absorption, even a genuine inability to read social cues. In the wild, animals often assert dominance through displays of physical prowess, the roar of a lion, the antler clash of stags. In the human realm, such displays are, thankfully, less common. However, there are those who employ a more subtle form of dominance, the conversational power play. This tactic involves speaking over others, overriding their words with one's own, as if their voice carries more weight, their thoughts more worthy of being heard. The overtalker, rather than pausing, allowing the other to finish, simply raises their voice, their words drowning out the others like a tidal wave engulfing a sandcastle. This behavior can stem from impatience, a need to control the narrative, or even a subconscious belief that their thoughts are inherently more valuable than others. The oversharer, a creature of unbridled enthusiasm, their life an open book, or perhaps more accurately, a blog post with the privacy settings set to public. They are the ones who, within minutes of meeting you, will divulge their deepest fears, their most embarrassing moments, and their detailed medical history, leaving you simultaneously fascinated and slightly terrified. This tendency to overshare, while often well-intentioned, can be a sign of excessive talking, a blurring of the lines between appropriate social disclosure and a torrent of personal information better suited for a therapist's couch. For some oversharers, this stems from a genuine desire to connect, a belief that vulnerability equates to intimacy. Whatever the motivation, the result is the same, a sense of conversational imbalance, a feeling of being overwhelmed by the sheer volume of personal information being shared. We arrive now at the crux of the matter, the heart of what distinguishes a balanced conversationalist from one who tends to overindulge in the spoken word, the art of listening. For truly, conversation is not merely about expressing oneself, but about engaging in a reciprocal exchange of thoughts, ideas, and experiences. The individual who talks too much, more often than not, fails to master this crucial skill. They are so focused on their own voice, their own narrative, that they neglect to truly hear the voices of others. They mistake talking for communication, unaware that true connection arises from the spaces between the words, the moments of silence where listening takes place. For in the quiet attentiveness of listening, we open ourselves up to a world of understanding, empathy, and genuine connection. So, as we conclude our exploration of the curious habits of those who talk too much, let us remember that communication, at its core, is about connection. It's about finding that delicate balance between speaking and listening, between sharing our own stories and being receptive to the stories of others. Like a well-choreographed dance, a successful conversation requires both partners to move in harmony, taking turns leading and following, listening and being heard. So, the next time you find yourself engaged in conversation, take a moment to observe, to listen, to truly connect.